Good, principled and scrupulous. Selfish, unprincipled and anarchist. Evil, miscreant, aberrant, and diabolic. Alignments are an important factor, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. Every person has his or her own code of ethics and morals, as well as a sense of justice and what constitutes good and evil, right and wrong. It is this sense of right and wrong that helps to build our moral fiber, mold our behavior, and dictate our reactions to people, events, and circumstances in the world. It is this code that makes the thought of stealing or hurting somebody abhorrent to one person, but acceptable to another. Most heroes will be of a good alignment, principled or scrupulous. Anti-heroes and selfish characters with a heart of gold may be unprincipled, somebody who usually does the right thing in the end. These characters have a high regard for life, justice, and freedom. They will never, or rarely, intentionally take a life, even that of a villain, always try to uphold the law, and never betray their word of honor. These are the classic anti-heroes. And vigilantes. Roguish heroes are usually best suited to the selfish alignments of unprincipled and anarchist. The evil alignments of aberrant, with its twisted sense of honor and duty, but with the attitudes of eye for an eye and the end justifies the means. And even miscreant, self-serving evil, may apply depending on the character's regard or disregard of life, justice, fair play, and the law. The anti-hero and vigilante characters tend to have their own code of ethics and views of justice, which usually conflict with the law. Anti-heroes, and even more often, vigilantes, are ruthless and merciless characters who blatantly break the law and violate the rights of the individual to extract revenge, bring aid, worse, criminal to justice, or help others. They tend to be somber loners who see a grim and dark, savage world of violence and corruption. It is not uncommon for either to threaten or beat up a person if they feel justified, break into homes and offices, steal documents and items, take dirty money to use for their cause, destroy property, and act as judge, jury, and executioner. The end always justifies the means. They often work and fight to help and protect others, bring justice, and restore peace, but do so ruthlessly and with little or no regard for those they see as the bad guys or the enemy. While they'll beat or kill a villain, they can show astonishing compassion, kindness, and gentleness to the weak, innocent, frightened, and downtrodden, especially women and children. It's just that they have a rather extreme and personal view of justice, and have decided to fight fire with fire. Those who have a strong personal code of honor and high regard for innocent people are likely to be unprincipled or aberrant evil. Anti-heroes who have little regard for others and have no code of honor are likely to be anarchist or miscreant and as savage and cruel, or nearly so, as the scum they battle. Criminals and villains will always be of an evil or selfish alignment, anarchist, miscreant, diabolic, and aberrant. In general, most petty thieves, robbers, stilies, numbers-runners, strong men, flunkies, forgers, fences, and con artists tend to be of anarchist and, especially, miscreant alignments. Those who are misguided, but deep down are really good guys may be unprincipled. In this case, these are guys who don't really want or mean to hurt anybody, but who, for one reason or another, junkie, alcoholic, desperate, runs with a gang, gullible, and always looking for the big score without thinking through all the consequences, or is easily duped, etc., seem to find themselves entangled with criminals and involved in activities on the wrong side of the law. However, these criminals with a tarnished heart of gold are a rarity. Most are the scum of the earth and evil. The majority of the anti-robbers, burglars, murderers, extortionists, drug dealers, drug lords, criminal kingpins, upper echelon gangsters, hitmen, traitors, and similar tend to be of miscreant or diabolic alignments. Of course, some are not as bad as others and can be aberrant and occasionally anarchist. Especially brutal and sadistic criminals, murderers, torturers, kidnappers, serial killers, rapists, and the worst of the worst are almost always diabolic or miscreant, occasionally aberrant. Because a character is of a good alignment, it does not make him or her a saint. Good characters can be irritating, obnoxious, and arrogant, even prejudiced and full of quirks. Likewise, they may find themselves stepping outside the boundaries of the law in their quest to help others, combat evil and fight injustice. For these heroes, life and freedom are of the highest priority. Such a character can always be trusted in a life and death situation. Principled characters are, generally, the strong, moral type. The Boy Scout or do-gooder who tends to put others before himself. Superman is of principled alignment, with the highest regard for the lives and well-being of others, freedom, truth, honor, and justice. Principled characters will always attempt to work with and within the law, and have a high regard for, and trust of, authority, as well as for life and freedom. He or she is usually compassionate, merciful, caring, cooperative, and sincere. A principled character will always keep his word, avoid lies, never kill or attack an unarmed foe, never harm an innocent, never torture for any reason, never kill for pleasure, always help others, always work within the law whenever possible, never break the law unless conditions are desperate. This means no breaking and entry, theft, torture, unprovoked assaults, etc. Respect authority, law, self-discipline, and honor. Work well in a group. Never take dirty money or ill-gotten valuables or goods. Never betray a friend. Never engage in cannibalism and finds it revolting and barbaric. Note, dirty money, including property, is money or items that belong to criminals. It doesn't matter how the money or items were gained. The hero will not touch it even if destitute. As far as he is concerned, it is blood money. Scrupulous characters value life and freedom above all else, and despise those who would deprive others of them. This type of hero is typically portrayed in many Clint Eastwood and Charles Bronson films, the character who is forced to work beyond the law, yet battles for justice, or vengeance, and the greater good of the people. They are not usually vicious or vindictive characters, but are individuals driven by injustice to right a wrong or take a bloody stand. A scrupulous character will keep his word to any other good person, lie only to people of selfish or evil alignments, never attack or kill an unarmed foe, never harm an innocent, never torture for pleasure, but may use muscle to extract information from criminals or evil characters, never kill for pleasure, always try to help others, attempt to work within the law whenever possible. Distrust authority and fear the law may not be an effective weapon against injustice and crime. However, he will try not to blatantly break the law, nor mock it. Work with groups. Never take dirty money or items. Never betray a friend. Never participate in cannibalism and finds it repugnant. Selfish alignments are not necessarily evil, but are characters who always have their own best interest and opinions in mind above all others. Unprincipled, selfish. This, basically, good person tends to be selfish, greedy, and holds his/her personal freedom and welfare above almost everything else. He dislikes confining laws and self-discipline and distrusts authority. He views the law as well-intentioned, but clumsy and ineffective. Keeping his best interests in mind, the character will always look out for himself. This tends to be an arrogant, impetuous schemer seeking the praise of millions while making a buck for himself. He is a freebooter who will do what he must to achieve his goals, stopping short of anarchy and a total disregard of the law. This guy is likely to be a vigilante or anti-hero whose intentions are good, and who tries to be fair and honest, but finds the law corrupt, slow, and ineffective. Thus, he goes his own, more efficient route, at least that's how he sees it, working outside the law. The unprincipled character is also likely to take dirty money and items. Better he have it than the bad guys. He may also destroy property of known criminals or rivals. He will not deal in illegal activities, drugs, or take money from innocent or good people. The unprincipled character is the Han Solo, Star Wars, character. The guy who is always looking for the best deal, associates with good and evil characters, is continually tempted to lie and cheat, and hates himself for being loyal and helping others. Like those of good alignment, unprincipled characters would never eat the flesh of a sentient, and will be repulsed by those who do. An unprincipled character will keep his word of honor, lie and cheat if necessary, especially to those of anarchist and evil alignments. Not kill an unarmed foe, but will take advantage of one. Never harm an innocent. Not use torture unless absolutely necessary. Never kill for pleasure, will attempt to bring the villain to justice alive or ruin him. Usually help those in need. Rarely attempt to work within the law, blatantly break the law to achieve his crime-busting goal. Dislike and distrust authority, the law, and bureaucracy. Feel they have been corrupted and abused. Work with groups, especially if it serves his needs, is profitable or he's in the limelight. Take dirty money. Never betray a friend. Have a high regard for life and freedom. This type of character likes to indulge himself in everything. He is the insurgent, con artist, gambler, and high roller. The uncommitted freebooter who, if he is a hero, is likely to be in it for the thrill of danger and excitement, or fame, glory, or money rather than any cause or high ideal. This character will at least consider doing anything, if the price is right, or the challenge alluring enough. These characters are intrigued by power, glory, and wealth. Like a moth drawn to a flame, the anarchist is attracted to the lure of the impossible, dangerous, and the underdog. Life has meaning, but his own has the greatest meaning. Laws and rules infringe on personal freedom and were meant to be broken. He will not hesitate at using strong-arm techniques, breaking the law, theft, harassment, destruction of private property, and so on. This can also include acting as judge, jury, and executioner. These characters are usually those who believe the end justifies the means. He will work with good, selfish, or evil characters to attain his goals and is continually teetering between good and evil, rebelling against and bending the law to fit his needs. Mercenaries, bounty hunters, spies and thieves often fall into this category. Anarchists regard eating other intelligent characters as a pretty bad thing. Certainly, something to be ashamed of. For anarchists, cannibalism is a slippery slope. They usually start out being repulsed by the idea. An anarchist character will keep his word, lie and cheat if he feels it necessary. Not likely kill an unarmed foe, but certainly knock out, attack, or beat up an unarmed foe. Never kill an innocent. Use torture to extract information, but not likely to do so for pleasure. Seldom kill for pleasure. Not likely help someone without some ulterior motive, even if it's only to show off. Rarely work within the law unless it serves his purpose. Constantly break the law to achieve his goals. Have little respect for authority, the law, or self-discipline. Does not work well within groups. Tends to do as he pleases despite orders to the contrary. Take dirty money without hesitation. May betray a friend.